Good evening, Speed Gaming, and welcome to tonight's Week 4 matchup of the Super Metroid Dash Randomizer Mystery Tournament. This is a 1-2 matchup between Salm0nster and Crossproduct. I am Crazy Gamer on commentary, and joining me is Nerdvana Gaming. Nerd, how you doing?
I am fine this evening. Lots of Super Metroid today. Been enjoying it so far. How are you doing?
Oh, can't complain. I'm looking forward to all the matchups, but this is the one in front of us, so I'm looking forward to this one in particular.
You're quite literally looking forward to it.
All right, so for anyone who is not watching, Nerdvana, how could you explain the what the mystery tournament is all about? Like what sort of modes we can possibly expect from here?
The answer is yes modes. We can expect yes modes. But in more precision, there's a few different things you can anticipate. There's 3 different versions of bosses that we can face that are different than the normal. So for example, we could have surprise bosses, meaning we could have up to 4 Ridleys on a single map. We could have shifted bosses, and we can have shuffled bosses, as well as map randomization and various item switches. And for example, right now we have item countdown.
That's very good. So those numbers correspond to how many major items are in the scene, and how many is that just E tanks and reserve tanks are in this area?
So that's E-tanks, reserve tanks, and that's also going to be representing how many majors are in the area as well.
All right, both of our runners using Moonfall to get down pretty quickly, and we'll see where Morph Ball is. It can only be in one of 2 places, so. And then besides Morph Ball, there's 2 other majors that are in criteria.
Someone says they want to gamble for suits. Gotta give people their gambles. Ooh, and we get a super missile to start us off on cross product.
So things to look for in the early game is both of our runners are going to try to find a power bomb someplace, because they're going to want to see if we're in area rando or not. But we'll continue on.
Absolutely. And we could very easily see one right behind here, because it's guaranteed you have to have a morph ball right in that location in the ceiling. That is, if you don't find it on the pedestal. And we get double supers loadout, so we're not going to have a check on the map location.
Not yet. There's still one more place to look. Both of our runners decided to go right instead of going down, so let's see if we spike some power bombs here.
An E-tank.
So both of our runners are forced up.
So there has to be a location nearby that is going to have either bombs or power bombs for us, so we can at least have progression forward. Kind of hard to go anywhere without bombs or power bombs.
So it's not guaranteed we're going to get bombs right away. Because we have supers, both of our runners could go right out of the ship instead of going through parlor. So we're going to need to see where this seed wants us to go.
That is true. I didn't consider the option of going right there.
Especially since if this is area rando, then a portal, it could be down there, and that can lead then to bombs or power bombs. So
That's true.
We'll check.
I'm always in favor of more torture to the runners and late bombs.
Well, I am a player in this tournament, so I, on principle, I cannot agree with that.
And we get some nice wall jumps there from cross product on the way up, and we're working our way up here. Salm0nster is shortly behind him. We can't check 230 here, we don't have the items, so we're just gonna keep moving on forward. Take a look at BT. Do we think it's going to end up in a vanilla fight here? It very well could.
Oh, there it is.
And we have our power bombs. Moving forward now.
Yeah, now our runners have to sort of make a decision. Do you go left out of parlor, or do you go right through the landing site and then check mode and go down to where the crabs are.
It looks like crossproduct is actually going to go back down. I wouldn't be surprised if he checks the 230 missiles here. Yep, there we go.
See how far crossproduct wants to take this.
And another super. Very healthy on supers so far. Game being straight up polite with the good ammos to start us off.
So I'd expect crossproduct to go up and then to the left, but going down would be a gamble. Ooh, going down. Oh, just kidding. Just he thought better. No, it's gonna go down. All right. So this is gonna let him check Old Mother Brain. And if he wants to check the portal, he can check the portal. And if he wants to go for Billy Mays, he could do that too.
I would logically think if we're going to dedicate time to doing this, we're going to end up doing all three. You're making the trip once, why make it a second time? We'll see. See what crossproduct wants to do here. And nope.
Wow.
Nope, right out of there and continuing on.
So that was just a check for the majors that are here. So we know there's 2 left in criteria, but there's a lot of other things to do.
Crossproduct taking the unusual check here. Some very interesting running, but Salm0nster finding his screw attack is going to be a very nice luxury item. And looking at a super missile at the top there.
A vanilla super, as it were.
Ooh, don't get stuck there.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, indeed. Oh, unfortunate.
Right, so that's a whole bunch of time lost. It's not just the 6 minutes that you see, because he also has to redo that too. So getting Morph Ball for sure, and then... Alright, so we do have, on Salm0nster's side, area rando of some flavor. So
Absolutely.
I did not see where Torian went. And the other entrance is the top of Red Tower.
It led to Crossway. Meanwhile, we're getting a taste of Big Red here. Gonna check our early powerbomb location. And guess what? It's a powerbomb. Game is vanilla. Is this even randomized?
So there is one major item in Red Tower. Not a lot of items to begin with, so unless the major just happened to land at X-Ray, Salm0nster will probably get it. And we have Kraid's Lair at the top of Red Tower.
Not a bad spot for it, honestly, to get that check out of the way early. At this point, we can get a good idea of what kind of boss type we can face. And another super there for Salm0nster. 20 super missiles, no regular missiles as of yet. That's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Alright, Salm0nster's going to take a save because we don't know what boss is going to be in Kraid's Lair, and we also don't know if it's going to be shifted or surprise. So we'll get some information in about a minute.
At this point, we really only want to see Kraid, because if it's Ridley, we can't fight it. If it's Dragon, we can't escape. And if it's Phantom, we're going to have pure enrage phases.
It's not terrible considering we have Screw Attack, but we'll see in a second. Alright, it is a Kraid. But we don't know if it's vanilla or not. We would probably need to see another boss at minimum to really get a fix on that.
I would agree with that, absolutely.
Oh, an interesting bit about this is that depending on what your setup is for the crate quick kill, if you don't have missiles, you pretty much have to improvise the 4 super setup, and improvising strats on the fly is not an easy thing.
Considering that the runners... Oh, and we do get an early charge upgrade, so that'll be very nice. We're going to find out if this is going to be regular charge or charge plus, and it looks like regular charge.
I couldn't tell if our runners checked for charge before this, so I would assume there was just no charge, and now it's just that's a charge upgrade, but we'll see.
Well, crossproduct getting his power bombs at BT again, making his way through.
It's going to be interesting to see how cross-product routes the rest of this seed, knowing that he took it that he has to guess that he's behind. So we'll see what he wants to do. He's going to have to... He's probably going to make additional skips that you probably wouldn't, but he does have to make up the time somewhere.
It could also come down to a difference in routing techniques as well. If he's able to find different movement items later on and pick up the time.
Yeah, if he's lucky enough to find the movement items, then great, but also finding the movement items means he has to like go out of his way for them, because anything that's in the way, Salm0nster is going to find. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's an interesting dynamic when you have to sort of save time in places.
And cross-product finding his transition there. No doubt probably taking notes there for just a second, marking it on a map of his own. And crossproduct finding entrance to Meridia there, and to West Meridia.
It's almost French vanilla.
We'll call it Vanilla Bean.
Right, the middle of Red Tower goes to Criteria, so that's a nice bit of knowledge if you need to easily get back.
Now, one handy thing that the racers do get here is the rollover saves as well. So the ability to kind of pick up from a different location. And we do find an early heat shield. That's going to actually play into this a little bit.
Yeah, once we find Upper Norfair, we'll be able to traverse Upper Norfair without the need of Varia, since Heat Shield gives our runners heat protection in just Upper Norfair. If they want to go to Lower Norfair, they can go down there, but it will still knock off some energy, but not at the same rate.
Crossproduct's got his jump ready, go and check at that northern entrance.
Yeah, this is actually out of logic without high jump boots or gravity, but it's good information to have.
And it did end up at the lava dive as well, so that is an interesting find, especially now that we also know where Heat Shield is.
So right now both of our runners are going to be just exploring the map, just getting a feel for where the portals end up. The fact that we got the Main Street portal means it is possible that our runners will have to go down to Crab Hole without a way back out, but that's usually the last thing you do because you want to make sure you can do everything else before you go down there.
We'll see how much of this Salm0nster decides to explore here. Looks like he's going to be doing just about the same checks as crossproduct was, because he's going to find the same information up here that crossproduct ran into. Meanwhile, Cross is now making their way through Crades.
Right, so did Salm0nster take a save before oh wait, he might do it now. Yes, please do that now, because this is a one way if you can't get out.
The ammo loadout to me is actually really interesting with what we're looking at here. We have heavy emphasis on supers, but only one missile pack? Ooh, careful Salm0nster. I know we just took a save, doesn't mean we have to utilize that immediately.
Let's see where Crabhole goes. Upper Norfair. Cool. There's a lot of things to check here.
Especially with that heat shield, we have great knowledge.
And we have 5 majors in Upper Norfair. That's pretty good, along with 1 major in East Meridia.
Boy, this map is all kinds of interesting. We're all over the place with it with our locations.
All right, and crossproduct gets a crate quick kill with 4 supers and gets his charge upgrade. And Salm0nster is going to explore a little bit of Upper Norfair, which I'm a little bit skeptical of, going to Ice Beam on 35 energy. Does he know he's not going to survive this? Oh, that's a heat shield. Right, of course.
Exactly, yes.
You see, I'm going to blame the fact that heat shield doesn't change the sprite, so it just looked like he was going in with just a power suit.
Ooh, that was a hard hit. I think he anticipated that power bomb killing all of them. And hey, we found another missile!
Alright, so if Salm0nster chooses to go for Crumble Tower, all of that is going to be a little dicey because I don't believe Heat Shield offers any damage reduction. So all of the the mini Tuskegee are going to hit for a ton.
Absolutely. I think you're correct on that. It doesn't offer damage reduction. It just offers the heat protection itself, which, I mean, that's great for what we're doing right now. But this is going to be really dicey if we can't be careful. And he's not getting the health drops that he needs. Interesting X-ray location.
Yeah, it's good information. It's one major out of the way, but probably not worth getting.
Agreed. I mean, it is a nice thing to have if you have plasma already. Then I would think about going for it, but at this point, it's just like, okay.
Right, so I like what crossproduct is doing here. He is going to attempt a continuous wall jump to check the portal over here, because the CWJ is not an easy trick. So if he's guessing that Salm0nster can't do this, then this is information that crossproduct is going to have that Salm0nster isn't.
And we don't have the bomb jump technique we can try with it either, but we just did see Spring Ball over on Salm0nster's screen, so that'll be interesting. I love seeing me some good Spring Ball booster strats. Oh, crossproduct just missing it by maybe just a frame or two there. He was very close on that one.
Yeah, the CWJ is 2 frame perfect inputs, one on the jump and then one on the second jump as you're crossing over the pillar. Yeah, that timing is not easy.
Not at all.
And crossproduct may feel like he's committed to this because he needs to make up time somehow, and this is a good way to do it if this portal is something out of the way and required.
It's quite possible with the things that we've found so far. I mean, Norfair isn't really... Oh, and there we go. We got it across. Nicely done, crossproduct.
That's
Ooh,
perfect.
we find Bryn.
Alright, that is a 2 majors green Bryn. So this is portal information and it's 2 majors. So this is definitely good for crossproduct.
And good health as well. Nice E-tank find there. 3 other E-tanks to be found here as well. We are going to find our primary red tower access as well, which is really good. Never mind. It deceived us. And this is what? Upper, lower Norfair?
This is upper Norfair, this is single chamber. So now crossproduct has a little bit of a decision to make. Because if you choose to explore this instead of Green Bryn, like you know where Green Bryn is, so you can easily go back to it. But he probably saw that there's 5 majors here, and he probably assumed this is too good to pass up.
Ooh, space jump in combination with that screw attack. That is going to be nice.
That's another good find. That's 2 movement items right next to each other.
Absolutely. The only thing he's missing at this point is Speed Booster. I mean, there's Spring Ball, but you can do anything without Spring Ball.
I mean, who's to say that Speed Booster is not sitting in its vanilla location at Speed Booster?
It very well could be. We're actually about to find out from Salm0nster's screen, too. Oh, wouldn't it be so trolly, though, if it were a gauntlet? It's a missile.
Not today.
Stars. Not right. Not today. And a high five to the doorway there between the 2 players. But the runners loving not having to do a hell run at the moment.
At the moment.
Question is, will we actually find a Varia suit in this seed? Because there can be both.
But I would assume that Varia is somewhere. This is not a hard way to hell settings.
But it would be entertaining.
I mean, it's not the tournament I signed up for, but
See, I get to appreciate this as a third party. And Salm0nster coming across his high jump boots now. The crossproduct does have some vital information about that Green Bryn access. That's going to be something that's going to he'll be able to hold on to for a while for help. I don't think either player has seen Big Pink yet at this point. Ah, and we found our regular bombs.
So while the knowledge of Green Bryn Star is nice, Salm0nster can very easily just make the decision to just check the single chamber portal, and then we'll just end up in Green Bryn Star. But there's 2 other portals to check as well, so it's not a foregone conclusion, but it's certainly possible.
Absolutely. Now we're at the point where we can decide to bet on Croc too. Do we bet on Croc?
Well, Croc is not guaranteed to be at its vanilla location, so this is just portal checking.
Gotta find Croc. My brain's still locked into my last race that everything was vanilla, except for the bosses.
Yeah, vanilla map is fine. It's just one less thing to worry about.
Absolutely. I imagine the portal transitions can be a little confusing once they start coming up.
It's more the routing that you have to then figure out, because you know how to route just a vanilla map because you've played it all the time, but mix everything around. Now all of a sudden, what's the easiest way to get from point A to point B? Well, let's sit on the pause screen for 5 seconds and figure it out.
Crossproduct's probably going to check the lower Norfair access point.
Yeah, it looks like he's going in the direction of Chronic Boost, while Salm0nster is going to come across Green Star.
And there he has it.
Crossproduct finds the good entrance of Lower Norfair. That's good information too.
I don't believe Salm0nster has checked that yet either.
Has not. Because interestingly enough, Crossproduct scouted the portal to Upper Norfair and decided to go for it, and Salm0nster found the portal to Green Star and decided to go for it. So both of them leaving behind portals in some other location, but it'll eventually just come full circle.
Alright, we're gonna check that Croc entrance here. What we're gonna find? Ah, we find our entrance back to Criteria.
We're still missing one major, and there it is.
Oh my gosh, that's huge for Crossproduct.
It's to have Speed Booster before checking Green Star. That means he can not orphan Waterway, and if the last major in Green Star is there, then that's super good.
Not to mention, if we find entrance to the wrecked ship, we can also get those checks done as well. The routing on this one definitely paying off a little bit.
Yeah, Crossproduct knew he had to skip a bunch of minor items due to the early death in at Criteria Supers. So he's really making up the time by skipping those minor items. Of course, every minor item you pick up is another 7 seconds that you have to shave off.
But to find the speed booster though, I mean that time comes back pretty quickly.
Indeed. Every second that you get with Speed Booster that your opponent doesn't just either closes the gap or winds the gap even further, depending on where you are.
We're probably going to see a full check here out of Crossproduct on this particular location now, since we do have the speed booster going into here.
Right, he can go down to the Croc portal.
He is gonna. Oh, I thought he's going back up for it. All right, there we go. We got that X-ray scope now. Interesting choice by Crossproduct there to actually get the X-ray instead, and not proceeding down. Very interesting.
He hasn't checked the 2 portals up at the top of the elevator yet.
That's true. And we have confirmed and found all the major items in the area, so.
Have we seen these 2 portals yet? I mean, we saw the crate portal. Did we see the other one?
Yes, we saw this one. This one was the East Meridia portal.
Can't do much there yet.
I'm trying to remember where this one was, but yes, we saw this one. That's right. And Crossproduct, not a fan. And actually turning around to go back to East Meridia. Excuse me, West Meridia.
You can't get back out. Not yet, anyway.
I think he just realized there at the last minute too.
This This check coming up for Salm0nster is going to be huge, because if it's not the last major, then the last major is at Waterway.
And it is not the last major, so...
This could be big for crossproduct. When he eventually makes his way back to Green Bryn, he'll be able to full clear and we'll be able to see what this item is.
Absolutely. Who knows, it could be something as critical as Varia as well.
Or things could have gone really bad for me if I forgot that there was one other check to make in Green Bryn. Forgot about the early supers location, and luckily that did not that wasn't the major either.
Salm0nster making his way back up. Meanwhile, crossproduct still exploring a bit of Norfair here. And he's going to be taking his portal back.
Yeah, he's going back to Green Bryn Star. Meanwhile, Salm0nster is going to see the other end of East Meridia.
This is going to be critical here. I'm curious to see what this major location is going to hold for crossproduct. Although we haven't found our big pink access yet, have we?
Big pink? That's this room coming up.
Oh yeah, yep, I knew that. I'm good.
Right, this is going to be huge. Let's see what in the next couple of seconds, we're going to see what this item is at Waterway. We know it's a major, we just don't know which one it is.
crossproduct not even hesitating to go for it either. Just missing that short charge. There we go, we have our charge, and here we go through. Let's see what we got. And it's Varia's suit! Oh my gosh!
Incredible.
That is a huge find.
And crossproduct is very much in the lead right now.
Which is funny, because just before that I said it would be interesting to see if it were Varia, and there it is. Oh, I would absolutely agree, Squeak. crossproduct is loving life right now with that find. Though, no doubt, he probably still feels he might be a little bit behind at the moment, just because he did take that initial death.
You have no way of really knowing where your opponent goes or what information they have, especially like when you have area rando, when you have full countdown. It's like at that point you just do the best you can, knowing that your early death puts you behind, but at this point you're just trying to just do the best you can.
Absolutely. And we have a prediction from Kensington calling Gravity in Lower North Fair. You know what? I'm gonna put one up there. I'm gonna say Gravity is vanilla.
Next ship.
Alright, crossproduct coming back up and out. Checking a look at that portal right there. Not liking it too much. Where is Salm0nster going right now is the question. He's going to find his portal access here. Still taking a little bit of heat damage from that lower Norfair. Definitely not as much as it would be normally, but still a little bit of damage.
You'd still want good resources to do the lower Norfair Hell Run, even with heat shield. And it's still not free by any means.
Absolutely. No, especially if you get to the point of Ridley, because as we discussed earlier, you're not taking damage reduction, so those Ridley hits are gonna hurt. Not to mention, let's just talk about getting past the Key Hunters.
I mean, that also presumes that there is a Ridley down there, which we haven't really determined what our boss layout is yet.
Very true. And now Salm0nster finally finding his. And he's going to be able to make his way past and go to that waterway check and find his own Vario suit. Which he probably realizes by now is that last major that he needed to get access to. Cassandra, yes, I believe it is 50% heat reduction in Lower Norfair.
Wondering if Salm0nster is just going to beeline straight to Waterway. Looks like he's going in that direction.
I would agree with that, and he's probably feeling that there's some pretty critical there. Kind of hard to say who's ahead right now because of the routing decisions crossproduct's made and the backtracking Salm0nster's having to do now. And crossproduct is taking the dive. Interesting routing choice here, but not entirely unexpected, I would think.
I think this is in logic with high jump boots.
And beautifully done first try from crossproduct.
Now there is one major down here, but there's a lot of things that there's a lot of item locations, and if the major is at screw attack, that's going to be a little bit of an issue, but crossproduct is going to go for it.
Crossproduct is going for the vanilla entrance on it as well.
Yep, he has space jump, so this is possible. But this is not a great Golterizo fight.
Not terribly, especially not with a lot of charge beam power. Definitely would like a bit more here for it, but he's going for it. We have made our choice now. Credit to the choice though, because we never get to see a good GT fight.
Yeah, crossproduct is going to take these supers, and going into the GT fight, I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Finding another missile pack there. Still a little bit of help.
Yeah, the missiles are less helpful in this fight because Golterizo can't be damaged by them, but it's fine.
GT taking a little bit of bad jump there. Get him back to that corner. There you go.
The fight could be done from either corner, but most of the time it's from the right corner. And now we're farming.
Getting some good super drops on him. GT being a little bit kind with them. Ooh, that was a tough super hit.
And that was the reserves getting activated there too. But crossproduct is through the fight, and we'll see what's coming up here.
And it's a power bomb, so that is not our major location that we were hoping for.
It's not unwelcome since crossproduct only had 5 power bombs max at the beginning of this, so the more power bombs you get, the better. Even with regular bombs, it's just something you'll just want.
Absolutely. It's just a little bit of insurance policy, if you would.
Alright, Salm0nster is going to take the back entrance of Lower Norfair, and if the major is back here, that is a bunch of time saved for Salm0nster, but we haven't found the major yet, so who knows.
I want you to be right smack dab in the middle of both of them.
So, Mickey Mouse?
Oh, what a beautiful fast pillars from crossproduct there. That's one thing that you can, that I love about this game, is that there's so much in here that Looks like it would be so simple to pull off, but then you actually see it done and try to do it yourself, and it's a completely different experience.
I mean, that really just speaks to the experience and the skill of our runners that make it look as easy as it looks. And obviously, we know a lot of these tricks are not easy at all.
We're gonna see some good space jump strats here coming up. Making our way up. No struggle. Cross product already up and through. We're gonna see a fire fleet check here from Salm0nster, then we'll see what this one is holding. Oh, and that's huge! But almost at the same time between them.
Alright, so obviously good for both runners. A little bit better for Salm0nster because he found the major without having to check the front of Lower Norfair. I don't know if he has portal knowledge of what's at the front of Lower Norfair, but obviously both suits, charge beam, our runners are probably going to skip checks from here on out.
Cross should at least go for 1 or 2 more for the energy tanks, I would think. Because he is a little bit low on energy. It's doable with 3 tanks, but you have to have almost a perfect Mother Brain fight.
Cross product, even though he has 1 reserve, is going to skip this reserve as well. This is, again, I think this all comes back to the early death. I think he knows he has to do this with as low percent as possible.
I would agree with that, absolutely. One thing that could actually turn the game on its head still is finding something like Plasma, because that could make a huge difference on Mother Brain.
It could, but I don't know if our runners would go out of their way for Plasma at this point. Like, unless it's behind a boss and they choose to check it, I think what we see here is what we got.
I think you have a good chance of being right there. Does Cross Product have enough regular missiles, though, for doing what he needs? We need, what, 35, right?
So if it was Ridley, he would need 30 supers, but obviously from our, because we can see both runners' screens, we know that this is not Ridley, it is in fact Dragon.
Which Dragon is a nice find here because we did find Gravity, so we can use our Speed Booster strats because we don't have Grapple.
Yeah, Salm0nster does have a good amount of ammo, so if not comfortable with the speed strat, can just missile down, and that's fine.
So I'm curious, if we use Grapple Beam, we get Fried Shrimp. If we use X-Ray Beam, we get Microwave Shrimp. If we use Speed Boosters, we get Roadkill Shrimp.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody call it that.
See, that's why I'm asking.
I think it's just dead shrimp. So Dragon down for Salm0nster, and because this is, it still says LN in the corner, that means we are still in Lower Norfair, so no chance of there being a major since we've already found the 1 major that's here, so Salm0nster is just going to head on back.
Some really nice Speed Booster strats by Cross Product here, finishing it nicely. A beautiful Dragon kill. Judging by the looks of things and the kind of locations we've had, it's looking like Meridia is going to hold a lot of majors for our runners.
We've seen East Meridia, which I think just has one item. It wasn't a lot. So, unless, and I don't remember what was at West Meridia. So I think we've seen a lot of the majors, and most of them were in Upper Norfair. Because 5 is a big number.
5 is a very big number, absolutely.
Right, so our runners still need to find Wreck Ship and find Turing as well. So even though both of our runners have the items they need to complete the game, they still need the knowledge of knowing where to go. And that's what it's really going to come down to at this point.
I'm trying to think of what portals we have not seen yet. Crossproduct finding his version of the missiles there.
So we haven't seen the top two, we haven't seen Redfish. I think we did see Everest. And we haven't seen Wreck Ship, Croc, or Torian. So our runners have to know that they have to get to West Meridia and check the Redfish portal.
Just want to point out that that was actually kind of funny on Crossproduct's side. 3 missiles. No, no, no. Screw it, Super. Get it first time.
That's what you gotta do.
Unleash your hatred.
Alright, Salm0nster is gonna go into East Meridia because that is here, and it's a boss that can be defeated, so get it out of the way while we're here.
So at this point, Salm0nster almost there on his ammo for Mother Brain as well. I mean, yes, we have the charge beam, but if we don't have to go get a slower fight, why do it?
Yeah, if Salm0nster wants to just use ammo for Mother Brain, he is 1 super or 2 missiles off. Meanwhile, crossproduct has to just bank on charge at this point and beams because he had to skip a bunch of minor items to be able to catch up in the first place, which unfortunately he lost that lead because of lower Norfair routing, because Salm0nster was able to go into the back first, was able to make up that time again. So in the last whatever minutes or so, we've had another lead change. Salm0nster is farming, while crossproduct is at Batwoon. Ooh, special beam attack. This is fancy. You normally see that in like low ice % runs, but you could also see it here too. You see a lot of things in Rando. Alright, are we going to see a halfie of some sort? Nope, we're just going to see farm. Salm0nster says nope to regular missiles, and it's just going to go into Dragon's Lair, where we're going to find a Ridley. And Salm0nster does have the requisite number of super missiles to take down Ridley, but I think missed at least one on that, so we'll have to make it up with 6 missiles per missed super.
All things considered, it's going to be a pretty comfortable fight. We've got gravity, we've got Varia, we've got a charge beam. We're enjoying life right now.
You could say you're enjoying life when you're in the middle of the acid fighting Ridley, but all things considered, I guess. Now let's see. Nope, Sal is not going to check the last item. Probably safe since there's more than one item left because we've still got both Sandpit, Shack Tool, Plasma, so there's really low chance that the last major is behind the boss, but you never know.
And crossproduct getting his finish there as well. Very nicely done. Getting some powerbomb strats on our Ridley friend.
Not often you see power bombs to end the fight. That's neat.
You could say it's a little flashy move.
Oh boy. we do enjoy a good pun here. This is fine.
Oh, I'm the father of 3 kids. Dad jokes are part of the territory.
All right, Sal is heading back.
Honestly, at this point, it's really going to come down to movement, I think. Techniques, movement, and maybe if someone decides to check something, but as you've pointed out already, the likelihood of checking anything at this point is very low.
So I think we've seen the other end of East Meridia, so I don't think that's the answer.
Huh. A very trolly double jump there for Salm0nster.
Yeah, we already got Space Jump. We already have the good version of that item. I can't imagine Salm0nster is going to check anything else. I think he's just going to go right for the Redfish portal to see where we're at.
Yeah, Salm0nster is making his way out right now. We're gonna see where this one leads.
Yeah, I think it had.
Wreck ship!
Yeah,
What a find!
I think it had to be Wreck Ship because we're still missing both Croc and Terrain, which are dead ends. So one of them has to be the end of Wreck Ship. I just don't know which one.
And this almost has to be Fantoon, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing else. Unless it's somehow surprise and we've just not rolled a repeat.
Oh, Salm0nster not having the supers there. And not getting the drop.
Oh, this is actually problematic because there's no way to get like you have to go outside of the ship and hit the I think it's the Ripper that's just floating about. That's guaranteed a super, but that's it. This is not great.
And E-Tank. So crossproduct actually, yeah, now with a chance to catch up a little bit because Salm0nster has got to find a super to continue. And the drops are not being kind on him.
Yeah, this is a test of game knowledge. You have to just know that the Ripper is your guaranteed super.
Yep, and there you got it. And now, back to our regularly scheduled broadcast.
We've been broadcasting the entire time.
Oh, is that what we've been doing?
I think so.
Oh. I didn't even have a fishing pole.
All right. All right. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. It's just puns. They can't hurt you. It's fine.
Crossproduct is going to find a beam here. He's actually going to find the wave beam. Which, honestly, that's a decent damage boost for him.
A plasma, but it's fine. It is definitely a boost. If you're going to find a beam, you do want to be plasma, though. It's such a huge jump in power. Now, does Cross not know what the Everest portal is? Like, he had to have come across that at some point. But he is, in fact, going to go check Redfish, which we know is wreck ship, and he does have the ammo for the fight, so he won't have to worry about farming a super, but he did spend an amount of time trying to find additional items that Salm0nster did not. So there's, he's turning around. Where's he going?
Good question. I'm kind of surprised about the choice myself. Seems like the next logical location for him to go.
So here's the thing. He is banking on Torian being at the other end of wreck ship. So if he's not confident in his loadout, he has to wait. Oh, we didn't see this?
Oh my gosh. That is huge.
Okay, so now the choice is... So now he knows that Croc is at the other end of the wreck ship. So that's good.
Salm0nster is more than likely going to go and check.
Huh. I'm just...
I'm a bit blown away by that check myself, I'll be honest. Because that was just last minute inspiration and an amazing check. So the question is, what does Salm0nster do now? Is he going to check wreck ship, or is he going to bank on the Meridia check?
He has to be in item go mode. Like, I'm surprised at these item checks at this point.
What could he be looking for? Maybe some more supers?
Yeah, he's either looking for 1 super or 2 missiles, which I think you just pick up any missiles at this point.
I think we're going to be going to possibly bowling with that save.
I do not like this save. I don't like going to wreck ship E-tank here because it's full. It's full countdown. It's not Chozo. It's not major minor. So this could be just like... Well, I mean, I guess at this point, I guess you're just banking on it being a minor item because then it's just a super or a missile. But I don't know. I feel like if you're... Oh, you did a save to check the portal. Okay.
Not a bad save there. This is a chance for crossproduct to catch up, though, because now Salm0nster's got to travel this distance here, and crossproduct has just got to fight Fantoon. We're going to see some X Factors from crossproduct. We are going to see some X Factors. You don't get to see those too often.
All right, so Salm0nster is going to get the bad news that this is Croc, and this is going to be just an instant reset. Yep.
That was a very fast reset, too. That room loaded in, and 2 seconds later, it was gone.
Yeah, he had to have known that because the room faded out. It had to be Croc. If it was Torian, it would have shifted over to the left, and then you would just be in the hallway.
This is still an interesting choice by crossproduct here, not using Doppler strats.
And he's got the missiles.
Oh, fan tuned down, and this race is a heck of a lot tighter.
So Salm0nster is going to go back to Meridia, and he has to know that that's Torian. But he does... Is he going to go for missiles, or is he just going to go? Looks like he's just going to go. Well, I don't know that yet, because he could still go up to find missiles. Alright, he's going to go to Torian. Okay.
This race is still really close.
Alright, so crossproduct is about maybe a minute to 90 seconds behind. He has a better beam, but Salm0nster has better ammo. This is not over. Not at all.
When it comes to Torian, literally anything can happen. Crossproduct getting that screw attack turned off early, that's a smart move.
Yeah, if you think you're not going to need it in the Metroid rooms, then you might as well. And with high jump speed and all the good movement items, then you don't really need to worry about screw attack to defend yourself.
Crossproduct does have the items here to actually go for baby skip as well. So it wouldn't be as important to him because he only has 3 E-tanks.
Alright, Salm0nster is going to cross the door at, well, at like 101.40, but also has to refill. We'll see if crossproduct gets baby skip.
Crossproduct has 1 reserve right now, and looks like we're going for baby skip. We're setting up for it.
This does save time if he hits it.
Ooh, nope. Tough catch there. Luckily, he only had 3 E-tanks, so it doesn't take as long. And yes, Slutters, he only has 1 reserve.
Alright, so crossproduct is about 40 seconds behind by my count. This is not an insurmountable lead, so let's see what happens. Salm0nster is going to take a save. Ooh. Is he not confident in his loadout?
I think there's a little bit of an odd save there. It could be maybe trouble with Zeb skip, something to easily reset if he runs too low on health. But we made our way through.
Very good.
Now, cross-product saving here, I fully support that.
Right, because he has 3+1, so that's
scary.
It's more reasonable for sure. It's just
We're gonna have two Mother Brain fights.
I'm not in their shoes. I can't say.
I think cross-product make his way through the Zebs as well, and we are on our way to Mother Brain. You know, that cannot feel too good to take right to the face.
Right, so Salm0nster is going to hold on to 15 super missiles and wait until the catch-up phase starts, and then switch back to supers.
Crossproduct doing just the opposite, letting all the supers go. We'll see how much that damage boost that he's going to get from Mother Brain is going to help here.
Keep in mind that crossproduct's fight is a little bit dicier because he cannot lose more than 167 health. Otherwise, he'll have to reset.
And Salm0nster are starting to phase into their MB3 portion. Crossproduct just behind. We have entered the catch-up phase for Crossproduct as well.
Oh boy. So you take another hit.
Really...
Looks like the lack of missiles is really being the key factor here, because this this beam combination is not doing it.
All right, and now we have Crossproduct hitting the MB3 fight.
Yeah, crossproduct did not make up time with that fight, so Salm0nster's lead has extended, and I do not know if this is a surmountable lead.
Brilliant race indeed, I would agree. It's been a great race all around.
Yeah, this has definitely been a good race for sure. No matter which way this ends up, this has been a good race.
And definitely kudos to Crossproduct going in with only 3+1. That's a daunting fight to do with 3+1. Something goes wrong and it's a reset.
It just speaks to the skill levels of our runners in this race and in this tournament. There's just been a lot of talented Super Metroid runners playing for all of us here.
Salm0nster beginning their escape, Crossproduct entering the Hyper Beam phase. This escape here should be pretty simple. We have all movement items that are relative to this particular escape. And Mother Brain is down, and Crossproduct side about to start his escape.
Salm0nster with the Behemoth Spark. Very nice.
Are we going to save the animal, Salm0nster?
I would assume not.
I would assume not, but you gotta do it for the memes, right?
Not when your opponent hasn't finished yet.
This is true.
Everyone, get your GGs in chat for Salm0nster, who finishes the race with an official RaceTime.gg time of 108.35.
A great race put on by Salm0nster. Just a solid run all throughout. Between the routing choices made and just the overall consistency in the movement. Just absolutely solid.
Bonk.
There we go. Crossproduct getting his up shaft.
And everyone get your GGs in chat for crossproduct, who finishes in second at 1:10:52.
Great race, great race. Definitely a fun one to be a part of.
Let's see if we can get our runners in for some chat, and let us welcome in the winner of this race, Salm0nster. GG's.
GG's.
Welcome in, Salm0nster. Great race. Thank you.
Thank you for the comms, track, and all that.
All right, so take us through things. How'd you feel?
Not so great through most of the race. Ultimately where Very ended up, I knew it was kind of bad, but I figured that Cross probably did something similar, so I didn't feel too bad about that. And after Very, I kind of had an idea that, gravity's just going to be somewhere in LN, and then it's just go mode from there. I felt good about picking up the ammo throughout, because I didn't feel like I was going to find beams. I don't know why, I just never find beams. So I always go ammo.
And I believe we have Crossproduct joining us in here now as well.
Hey, Cross. GG's.
GG. Well earned. I can say that Salm0nster probably played it better than I did in a couple ways.
Yeah, Cross. So right off the bat, we do have to talk about the unfortunate death in Shaft Supers.
Did Salm0nster die? Oh my gosh.
No, you No,
I did. Oh
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Usually that quick morph gets you out of the acid pit there, but when that didn't work, I was like, oh boy. Honestly, I lost less time to dying than I did to leaving 3 super missile packs behind.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
Yeah, I don't know if you were watching the end of the race since we are on a delay, but the ammo was like the huge difference maker in the Mother Brain fight, since the beam combination you had did not make up the difference that Sal had on you.
Yeah, what did Sal have? 55 supers, and I had 35. That's gonna do it. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, his loadout was 45.
I went in with 45, 55. Yeah, 45, and no beam, but yeah, 45, 55.
It was a comfy fight. I felt confident going in, especially with the extra energy in reserve. But it's what comfy isn't always faster, right? Like Suitless Meridia is pretty simple after you grind it out and you practice it and you get good at it. It's like, oh, I can do Suitless Meridia. I'm like, yeah, but you're going through all of the water rooms without gravity suit and spending like 4 times the time in there. Like, it's comfy and you can do it and you can be consistent at it, but it's still slow.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Suitless Norfair if you have to farm stuff. Oh man, yeah. What's actually really funny? I don't know if anybody caught this, but I picked up that reserve tank at the speed booster hallway, and I didn't pick it up at first, but I got it when I was coming out. And the reason I picked up that reserve tank was because I have not come across a major minor split in any of my practice or tournament races, and I legitimately did not know if the reserve tank counted toward that major item count. So I was like, well, I better pick this up, then I'll know if it counts or not. And it turned out to save me on the Mother Brain fight. So, hey, it worked out.
Nice little happy accident right there.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't show up at all, though. No E-Tank, no major. But can we useful.
Yeah, and I mean the death was unfortunate, but I just made routing errors. Like I won't even say like, oh well, I tried this and it didn't. Like I just made straight up errors. Toward the end, I knew that I had 2 doors unchecked in West Meridia, and for some reason in my brain, I was like, okay, well obviously, the beach doors is wrecked ship, right? So I'm gonna save, go see if the other door is Torian, and then come back, and then the other door was wrecked ship, and I'm like, oh. Well, that was a mistake, and the reset, my reset button didn't work, so I actually had to run back.
Oh.
That's terrible.
And then, of course, that was Tori, and so I was like, okay, cool, I don't have to go through Forgotten Highway. But yeah, but that was just like, I was right there at that door. I also saved like 3 or 4 extra times at the end because there's always that small chance that it's double Ridley, right? Like, well, I better save here in case it's double Ridley and I have to come back and farm more supers, which again, just a lot of times sunk to not picking up ammo, which I think picking up ammo was the play, and Salm0nster made a good decision there, and that's probably the largest credit to him and biggest advantage he had over me was that he made that good decision and really paid off.
I mean, I just kind of fell on him though. Like there were so many supers early, and that was where it's like I had Ridley ammo basically by the time I left Criteria. I was just like a little short, so I was like, okay,
right.
like when I go into Craig's closet here, if it's Ridley, no big deal. Like I can figure this out.
Yeah,
it didn't end up being Ridley, but like yeah, I was good to go.
Mm-hmm. When I checked the old Mother Brain spot, I was like 50-50 on whether I would go back and check the top portals or like go down and check the side hoppers, and yeah, that delayed speed booster among other things. So.
Well, yeah, that kind of hurt. I don't know how long it took you to find it, but like I had cleared basically everything except that Criteria Major. And when I got popped out of meme route, I found the speed booster and I said, well, I know there is a waterway. It's like there's nothing else that could possibly be there. I mean, it could have been gravity, but that's not how these things go.
No, good suit locations on both. There was also the gravity suit at Fireflies, which was like a huge bailout going into Lower Norfair, not knowing whether or not Dragon's going to be there. Like, oh, well, like I was like, I got to skip saving. I was like, well, I don't need to save anymore because now I have gravity suit. So that's useful against both Ridley and Dragon. So, I'm kind of set. I did have to farm super missiles though, which again, oh man, I also just made a bad route through Lower Norfair. Like I decided to go in through Lava Dive and check Gold Terizo it was just not a good decision, and yeah, my time suffered for it, and that's how these things go.
Was that just like an ammo hunt type deal, or?
Yeah, honestly,
did you like come in that way?
It was I came in that way, but also it was like, well, there's one major here, and I'm hurting for super missiles. So, I mean,
I think it's reasonable if you go in that way because, like, you kind of assume the grad's going to be down there. I would think. Like, I mean, check everything.
It was also just I was closer to that door. I was closer to the lava side door when it was time to go to LN, so that kind of persuaded me as well. But I mean, just going in through Three Musketeers is just generally faster if the door is not too far out of the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember why that. Well, so I went and by the time I got Varia, it was just get Varia, go back down to Upper Norfair, which was pretty close to that LN, the backside. So Three Musketeers, so it worked out all right. I didn't have anything else to check. It was just get Varia and go.
Let me check here. So the one Lower Norfair entrance was above the Meridia tube, right? So that was the Three Musketeers door. That seemed like too far out of the way, and I wanted to do.
That was
it was the normal front door, which was the back door. That's right.
Yeah,
and that was not too far from. Yeah, it wouldn't have been too bad coming back through Double Chamber and going down there. I was like, okay, I'm really close to Red Tower, which goes to Lava Dive, and had a good Lava Dive for what it's worth, but
yeah.
Just you routed it better, and congratulations. I mean, well played.
Thanks, Cross. GG's to you. I mean, it was super
GG.
close. That thing down to the end.
Yeah, I think I finished about a minute after, but I hit the button and it didn't go off, and then I got up to use the restroom and the timer was still running when I got back. So I don't know if it matters, but I actually finished closer to the time on my stream. So.
Okay. I didn't even notice that. I'm just like, oh, he finished in 110. And I just didn't just like, all right, well, I'm not going to look at the stream. Why would I look at the stream? It's in race time. It's fine.
Yeah, shout outs to Leodox, by the way.
Oh, was that room bad, or I didn't check?
It's all right. He'll know what I mean.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you both very much. That was a fantastic race. We both enjoyed it. Nirvana, you got anything you want to add?
No, I don't have anything I want to add. Just, I mean, it was a great race, and thank you so much, guys, for making it such a great show for people to watch. I mean, this is the kind of thing I look forward to. It's just always exciting to see the decisions that are made, and watching you guys just do your thing and making it look so easy in comparison to how difficult it actually is.
Indeed. So we're about to close this out, but to remind people, there is another tournament race in about, if I can do math, about 3 hours right here on SpeedGaming. We've got Vibrant Colors versus Lomi and Jones. And then we have a whole bunch of other races on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And we've got one on Monday as well. So if you're not following these runners, go ahead and follow these runners. They put on a great show for us. And if you'd like to follow the commentators and the crew, you can do that as well. I'm Crazy Gamer. I was joined by Nerdvana Gaming, and thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you next mission.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.